It's time to visit with our party scoopers to find out what in the world is happening in politics in a fun and interesting way. That's why we bring Jeff Link and Craig Robinson into the studio with us to talk about everything that's going on. There's so many different topics.
It's a busy week.
We could throw up in the air. We could toss them up in the air and see which one hits the table first. First of all, yesterday, former governor floating around town apparently.
And not the biggest news. I mean, not often does a sitting Secretary of State come to Iowa to do an official event.
Right.
And spent the whole day here.
Well, and spent Sunday night here. And, I mean, spent a lot of time here. And, I always get these calls. I know Jeff probably gets them too. It's, for me, he's a Republican. Is Mike Pompeo going to run for president in 2024? I was just like, slow down. I do think this is political in nature.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in town to talk about trade. You have these tariffs that have made life difficult for farmers, and so they're just, trying to calm some fears because you got 20-some Democrats running around Iowa talking about the difficulties that Trump has created with his trade policies. And so I think this was a pretty smart, savvy way to kind of combat that, talking to the Future Farmers of America and other groups in Iowa. So, but yeah, it's a huge deal to have the Secretary of State in our, I can't remember the last time that's happened.
No, I was not usually a landing spot for secretaries of state.
For foreign policy, even though trade's a huge
And then
importance.
you said he's going to be talking trade, and what a nice touch to have the former governor here in town too.
Well, and I think that, there's been, the talks in Vietnam might not have ended well.
Right.
Or whatever, but that's kind of what you get when you meet with someone like that.
And we kind of hinted at that last week, because when that happened, we said, well, we kind of touched on that last week.
The other thing the White House started to talk about is maybe there's going to be some movement with China on these tariffs. And so, I think Branstad's involved in that, obviously, and having him in. And so I expect we'll have some news on that, which would be good in the
It's way overdue.
Weeks. It's very overdue.
Look, the Trump strategy, which was to impose tariffs to bring China to its knees and so that we can get what we want in a trade deal, has failed, right? He thought they would buckle instantly. They didn't. And the people who've paid the price are Iowa farmers, Iowa agribusinesses, because these tariffs are killing us. So the amount of soybeans that we are exporting now compared to what we were doing 2 years ago is minuscule. Like, it's a huge problem. We have to get a resolution.
True, but there's always things changing. So I think China is dealing with a huge swine flu epidemic. So where do you turn to if you need pork? Well, the state of Iowa, we produce the most of it in the world. Yeah. And so things are always changing. Hopefully there's a long-term solution that comes out of this, and and these things get solved when both countries can turn to their people and say, I won. I don't think we're ever going to see a white flag of surrender from Trump on anything, let alone this, but hopefully it's something that gets worked out.
We did actually see the white flag when he left Vietnam. Like, there was no deal. There was no pretense of a deal. They had a publicly scheduled signing event at the end of that visit, which they canceled, and he left 2 hours early. I mean, if that wasn't waving a white flag on that meeting with North Korea, I don't know what it is.
The wisdom of meeting with a leader like that is difficult. I mean, he's a wild card. And like I've always said, a deal is only as good as the two sides that are willing to uphold it. Can you trust Kim Jong-un to hold up a deal? I mean, Trump professes his friendship and admiration for this man. Why he does that, I don't know, but it's one of those things.
But did it make a power statement by him walking away from that table?
I think he had to walk away.
Yeah.
They weren't going to make concessions, and so it would have been worse if Trump would have gone along just to get the ceremony. So I think it was the right move to get up and walk.
There's an interesting parallel, actually, between Trump and the North Korean leader with President Johnson back in Vietnam, because President Johnson believed in his heart of hearts, if he could just sit down with the leader in Vietnam, he could work out the problem that led to the Vietnam War. But they could never have a conversation like that. And I think Trump is kind of going down that same path, thinking that his personality and intuition would be enough to solve this problem, but these problems are bigger than personality. There's historical factors, there's economic factors. Like, you can't just win somebody over and solve the problem, and I think that's the reality Trump has run into.
We have another issue today. People are going to the polls.
It's election day.
It's election day on a local option sales tax in like 5 or 6 communities.
It isn't just Des Moines. Because
It's not
a
just
lot of
Des
people
Moines.
thought it was just Des Moines, but
No,
there's,
no.
like you mentioned, like 5 or 6 different communities. Yeah.
And so that's important. I mean, the people of Des Moines are hearing from their city government, look, you either vote this in or we're going to raise your property taxes, so sales tax or property tax. But these communities, a lot of them, they need extra revenue. We're a growing area with more roads and stuff.
And we learned last week about all the different communities around the state that have imposed this increase.
Everybody has.
Everyone
has.
We're the only ones
Everyone
that
has.
don't.
We're shielded from it.
I kind of laugh at some of these conservative groups who are like, they just need to do better with what they have. And I'm like, well, what about the 98 other counties?
Right. Well, here's the easy math for me on this question, because the question is, do we add a penny to the sales tax? The alternative is we raise property taxes.
Right.
Now, if you live in Polk County residents pay 100% of the property tax increase. If you raise the sales tax, Polk County residents only pay 70% of that, because 30% of the sales in Polk County come from people that live outside of the county.
Okay.
We have everybody that comes into the mall or comes in for state tournaments. We're at state tournament season. 30% of the revenue generated is going to come from people that don't live here. It seems like that's an easy yes if you're a resident of Polk County.
Okay, now and I'm glad you said that, because this is a question that was posed to me just last night with the voting on this sales increase, this 1 cent sales tax increase. Is it a Polk County-wide sales tax increase, or is it individual communities?
It's municipality by municipality, but the contiguous cities all vote together. The votes are all counted together, and it's applied together, because you can't have cities that touch each other. One has it and one doesn't.
Okay, so if it's Des Moines, Altoona, Johnston, and maybe they vote for it, and the other ones that connected to it don't vote for it, if it gets voted
Yeah,
out.
So like Ankeny's not voting on it today.
Okay.
Because they already passed
They
it.
already passed.
Right.
Right.
And they don't touch another community. Ankeny is
Right.
self-contained. But
Okay.
Des Moines and Windsor Heights are together.
Right.
Des Moines and West Des Moines are together with Windsor.
So the
Clyde.
majority
Pleasant
has to
Hill.
rule, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The majority rules.
Yes, in those contiguous cities.
Okay, got it. So that's the bottom line that we have to figure out whatever your own community is going to do. But the important thing is, if
vote.
you're
Get out
in
and
one of
vote.
those communities, regardless of which way you vote, please get out and vote. Now, Jeff, want to ask you about somebody who's not running for president that we saw on the Twitter machines a matter of hours ago.
Yeah.
All right, who is not running for president?
Senator Jeff Merkley
Okay.
announced, and I actually got the email at 4:30 this morning. I didn't read it at 4:30, but it came in at 4:30. And it didn't really even say in the email. You had to watch the video. And so, yeah, he's decided not to run.
Now, is there any other prominent Democrats that were rumored to thought about running for the White House that has decided that they made it official they're not going to run?
Yes, well, we're up to, I think now we have 11 candidates that have announced they're not going to run. We have 14 candidates that have announced they are going to run. And I think we still have 12 or 13 that are considering it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the 14 that we have, that still doesn't include Joe Biden,
Right.
Beto O'Rourke. I mean, there's some big names that are still up in the air. And so I think there's a very good chance we get to about 20 candidates that say yes. And I think we'll have about 16 or 17 candidates.
The big
pass.
one that was no was Eric Holder. Flirted with it a little
Yes.
bit. Then
Right.
it came out this week and said no.
Okay, and Hillary, someone asked me this again last night in the same
yeah.
discussion
Yeah,
that
she
we had.
said absolutely not.
And Hillary said absolutely not. You're
Yeah,
going to see
it's
a lot
gonna-
of press
it's
on
gonna
that this
ruin,
morning.
We Republicans are sad about that.
Yeah.
We were hoping.
Well, and the Republicans were starting all these rumors that she's running and
Right.
she's thinking
But
about it
she made it
again.
official.
None of it was true.
We'll keep it up.
None of it
Okay.
was true.
keep it
Yeah, like
She can change her mind. Obama said he wasn't going to run, and then look, he became president of the United States.
All right, but the most important thing, the most
well, we
important
wish Obama could run, but the Constitution stands in the way.
that's preventing him from doing so. But the
And he
most
would probably
important thing from our Party Scooper session today, gentlemen, is
Go vote.
Go
vote.
It's election day.
Go
It's
vote.
unanimous.
That's right.
It's unanimous.
We
The
all
vote
have a
here
say.
is get out and vote. Thank you, sirs. We appreciate it. It is